Everybody good? All right, y'all fire away with Coach Cross.
Everybody good? Yep.
Yes.
Having a good day?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's roll.
Coach Cross, Coach Chiswick said the most noticeable difference between last time he was here, and now is the depth and size of the defensive line. What do you really like about this room heading into this season?
Depth and size. No, they're a young group. They're growing. They're learning. They are big, right? But once again, they have to. Sometimes you have to grow. It's like a puppy. You got to grow into those big paws. But it has really been a joy to be able to say, okay, next guy up, next guy up, next guy up, especially in the spring. And we were still missing some guys in the spring, but now everybody's getting healthy. And it's a great situation where you can roll guys through and be confident that they can all get the job done for you.
What do you like about it? Are there some guys that you think are going to really make an impact that did it last year? Some new names that are developed now enough to play?
I don't know if they're necessarily new names, but they're names that have gotten older. You know what I mean? Like Javari Ritzy, Keyshawn Silver. Like sometimes we forget, like they really were playing as high school seniors because they missed their last year of high school. So those guys are developing. Getting Big Ray back is definitely a bonus. Dez has moved into my room. He's doing a great job. There's a lot of guys, Ruck, and even the young guys. Bo Atkinson had a great spring, and he's coming along. So all those guys are developing. All of them are learning. Obviously, like I've said in the past, everybody learns at a different pace. Everybody's going to be ready when they're ready, and not always when we want them to be ready. But we got a good group.
Coach Chiswick said that he wants Miles Murphy to be offended if other teams aren't planning for him and always aware of where he is. Where is Miles in that sort of process of becoming that guy who takes on the brunt of what the other team's doing and needs to be the it guy on the defensive line?
I'll say this, that Miles has had an incredible offseason. His demeanor, I won't say names, but like for instance, somebody on the offensive line put hands on a defensive lineman in one-on-ones, kind of got after him, a young guy, and the next snap they were going to rematch, and Miles was like, no, I'll take him this time. So not only is he going to be offended if they block him, he's going to take it personal if there's an affront to anybody on our defense. And that's a step in the right direction for his leadership, pride in the unit, pride in the group, pride in the team.
You mentioned incorporating Dez into your room. How's that transition going, and sort of what are the next steps for him and continuing to live up to his potential?
I think it's been a great move for him. Now he's learning to play with his hand on the ground, which is what he's really used to. Not having to cover wheel routes when you're 6'6", 260 is always good. You know what I mean? He doesn't miss that at all. But he's getting bigger, stronger. I watched him work out yesterday. He's a grinder. He's a grinder. And he'll start to really, really blossom this year, I believe.
Just to follow up, is it just a matter of him getting in one spot and having sort of a continuation of reps and like you mentioned, being able to finally just put his hand in dirt again and not have to worry about all the other
but I think that's for everybody, Man, when I first tried to learn cursive writing, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't keep doing it, it's going to be, my writing right now probably isn't very good. But the more you rep it, the better you're going to get at it. The more, so then it becomes like, sometimes you hop in your car when you leave, and 10 minutes later you're at home and you don't remember any turns you took because it becomes second nature, right? Now it's muscle memory. And that's where we got to get all these guys to know they're not saying, take a step, go here. It's just like, ball snap, I'm gone. Because they know it's natural to them now.
Tim, along those lines, we've heard lots of times about less is more on the defensive side of the ball. What does that mean specifically for your guys?
Pre-snap, they know where they're going. There's not a lot of decision making. There's not a lot of this or that. You kind of pop the collar and sip it. And I think that helps play to your guys' strengths. The simpler it is, and not that it's dumbed down, it's just there's less of it. So now you can get those reps. You can't learn French, Spanish, German, and Japanese all at the same time, right? Just take one piece and chew that up until you get great at it.
And on a different topic, recruiting these days is big business. Kids that are 4-star, 5-star get all kinds of media attention. How do you handle ego and hype when kids come into your room that have a lot of this, top 100, top 300 type things?
Well, there's a couple things, all right? First of all, I'm not having that right there, right? and then another thing is that, like, when you're getting recruited and it's all that, like, let me tell you something now, the band stops playing fast now, then it gets time for the grind, right? And the other thing that helps is when you walk in that room and you're like, I got you this offer, that offer. And then I turn a picture on and say, yeah, so to him, and him, right? And then you realize, you know what? In recruiting, the smoke and mirrors, all the hype goes away quickly. Then it's time to get to it about the things that are real. And I think that's where we've had success, is being real with these young men and their families.
Coach, how is Travis Shaw coming along?
He's coming really well. He's doing a great job. He's a big old joker now. And once again, coming in early and adapting to, not only the football part of it, but the academic part of it. He's doing great in school, the social part of it, the spotlight that can be on him. He's doing a great job. And we just got to keep working him. Because once again, like, with the social media stuff, everybody wants, like, splat, like he's Aaron Donald, all right now, okay? First of all, he's way bigger than Aaron Donald, number one, but he has to learn and grow and get better, and given time, if I'm able to do the right things and we're maximizing his potential, we'll be happy at the end result. But he's doing a really good job right now.
So, Tim,
That was the first time I've ever been like it.
President.
In the grave.
Go next. He's got it.
There we go.
Mac has talked to us 2 years, maybe 3 years, about wanting more pressure on opposing quarterback.
Right.
It's sort of a constant drumbeat for him. How have you taken that message and given it to your guys? And, do you feel like that's something that you've got to make a breakthrough with your group to sort of get to the next level of improvement?
Definitely. And that's twofold. One, when we talked about what we're doing, you got to put your guys in the right spots so that they can rush the passer. Two, now that I have one of the edge guys at least, now I think we're more in sync across the front. And three, it's easy to say, hey, let's go get more sacks. But you got to have some guys that can go get it. And now we're starting to get guys and develop guys that can go get it. And just like in the jack room, there's some edge guys that I think can disrupt some things. But number one, stop the run and make them have to throw it. And now you put your guys in a position where they can go get after the quarterback.
Coach, kind of just going back to Travis Shaw, when he came in, I guess, early January, how did you see him push other guys like Jabari and Keyshawn, that he is one of the top recruits and center stuff?
How did he push them?
Yes, sir.
First of all, I think just his presence, and everybody knowing who he was. But I think the best thing about this room is yes, he's pushed. They were pushed by his talent, but I think more so he was pulled by them because they want him to be special. They want him, instead of being threatened, they're welcoming, and that's why that room is getting better and better because they welcome everybody in. There's no like, oh, this guy's this, so he's gonna take away my shine. No, what's gonna happen is if we shine, all of us eat, right? There's enough at the buffet for everybody, right? And what I tell them is like, don't be so busy, watching the other man eat that your food gets cold. Do what you're supposed to do. Handle your business, and we'll all eat together.
Coach, how did Keyshawn sort of handle not really playing at all last year, coming in as great of a recruit as he was?
That's a great question. So, I think initially it bothered him. And not so much, you know, because he got banged up and that slowed him down a little bit, but not so much with him. I think sometimes outside voices, why? And what are you going to say to that? You know what I mean? Like, why aren't you playing? Are you not good enough? Or is the coach, you know, doing you wrong? No, it's none of those things. It's a young kid having to develop. And we know, some of y'all don't know because you probably are young and got no kids, some of the young bucks in here. But like, your kids want everything win right now. And it doesn't work like that, right? You gotta earn that. You gotta grow into that, right? Oh, you wanna go outside? Guess what? Do your homework and clean your room. If not, you stay inside. Now, he's doing his homework right now, right? Meaning he's working hard. He's doing great in school. He's grinding. He's getting his body right. Some of those, the emotional stuff is part of what happens when you're dealing with young kids and expectations and all that. You got to help him handle it. And he ran like a stud yesterday.
So was last season an official redshirt year for him?
You know what? I'm not sure. I think it was. Don't quote me on that. See, I haven't been able to say that before either, Jeremy. Don't quote me on that. I'm not positive, but I think his games were, you know what, I'm not sure. You know, the COVID thing and all that kind of has me messed up. But he's doing a good job.
And with bringing along those young guys, you've got a few veterans there. Ray, Marcus never passed them down. What's been their role in bringing the young guys along as veterans?
Lead by example, hold them accountable, show them, don't just tell them, get them in the weight room, get them in, you know, after they're done meeting with me, you know, I may say something that they don't get and they're scared to come back and say they don't get it, you know, ask Ray, ask Tamari, you know, ask Miles, you know, stuff like that. And it has to become all-inclusive where guys are pulling each other along.
Is that part of the instinct that you were talking about earlier as far as helping getting pressure and that sort of?
Yeah, all those things work together. Everything is connected with that, you know. Communication, understanding what your role is, and also understanding what you're capable of. You know, I got a couple 300-pound guys who probably think they can cover the wheel route. Like, no, bro, that's not what you're doing. You know what I mean? So embracing your role and getting after it and doing it, and like I told you the other day, right? I'm not a Golden State Warrior fan, right? I really don't like Draymond, but I respect him. But in the end, like whether Draymond has 2 points for him, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Draymond has 4 rings. That's all that matters. Andre Iguodala's on the bench talking crazy, didn't play at all. He got another ring, right? So that's the bottom line is get the win. Embrace your role and win. And everybody will be happy at the end of the day. They're not going to be, at the end of the day, you win, be like, oh, you only had 1 tackle. No, you won. You won, right? You had success. And everybody's included, from the walk-ons to the 5 stars, everybody's a part of it. And that's why we have to embrace that role.
All right, gang, time to switch.
Everybody good?
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.